Hey guys, welcome back. It's me Rajesh Sharma, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you that how can we create a functionality of posting, or you can say forwarding a specific post to any user, okay, in the application social media app. And we will also create a smooth transition of left to right when user will click on the chat icon on the fragment one, okay. So what exactly we are going to do is I will show you a demo. So you can see on the screen that this is our project updated social media app, okay. And very first of all, you can see that this is the fragment one, and I have changed a very small thing in this layout, because here you can see that now we have this edit profile btn. When you will click on it, so you will be able to edit profile, and here on the right top corner we are using a new chat icon, okay. So when you will click on it, so you can see a left to right smooth transition, and here you can see that send a post of Rajan Sharma. When you will click on it, so you will see the last seen timing, and also you can see that how we have forwarded the post, okay guys. So this is what we are going to learn in this tutorial, and I know that it is a very good and impressive feature in any application, okay, like Snapchat, Instagram, or WhatsApp. All these applications, these modern applications, have this functionality, okay guys. So in this tutorial I will show you that how can you create, and also in the fragment 4, when you will click on this forward button, so you can see that you will see a bottom sheet, where when you will click on the name, so it will simply send the post, okay. And when you will click on the send btn, so it will simply close the bottom sheet. So okay, this is what I'm going to show you in this tutorial, and I hope you guys will watch this complete video and do not skip any part of the tutorial, otherwise you will face unexpected error in the end of the video, and then you will you have to face a lot of errors, and I don't want it, okay guys. So you just have to watch this complete video. It is going to be very simple and easy feature that we are going to implement, fine guys. And for the source code, you have to visit rajansharma.com. You can use your PayPal account for purchasing the codes, okay. In case if you are not capable of joining membership on my website, then you should join it on YouTube channel, okay. But first you have to try on website, because when you will join it on websites, you will get all the updated codes with time. But when you will join on YouTube channel, so I will share the zip file, and then you may not get the very latest part of the code. So it's recommended to use rajansharma.com for codes. In case if you are not capable of joining, then switch to YouTube channel, fine guys. And this is how you can get the code of this complete project. And if you just want the complete apk, you don't want to do all the codes, you don't want to watch all the 100 videos, then you can simply join third level of membership, which is 2000 INR, and I will give you complete APK with a separate firebase account, okay guys. So this was a complete thing that we are going to learn in this tutorial here, okay, like this smooth transition and this forwarding functionality. So I hope you guys will watch this complete video. So guys, in this tutorial, very first of all, I will start you from the very basic, okay. So the very first thing that we will do here is you have to open the post layout where we are fetching the post that is uploaded by the user, fine. And here you can see that we are using this icon for forwarding a specific post in the fragment 4. So you just have to simply create a image view and pass this src post f icon, and you will get all these drawable files in source code. For that you have to visit rajansharma.com. PayPal is available, and in case if you are not able to join membership on website, you can join it on a YouTube channel as well. So guys, this is a very basic button that you have to use here, okay. And this is a code which you have to write down in the post layout. So I have simply stopped. You can simply pause the video and write down the code, fine. Now after that, when user will click on this, so we will show a very basic bottom sheet for forwarding a post. So for that you have to create a layout xml file, okay. And you can see its code here. The parent layout is constant layout, okay. So I will show you the design so you will understand more easily. I'm just using a very basic constant layout, okay. And then I'm using a very basic recycler view, and here I'm using a text view forward to, and a very simple button. That is all I'm using. So you can see in the design part that this layout file is quite simple to create. Now I will show you the split code. So guys, here you can see that this is a parent layout constant. You can see these properties, okay. And then I'm using this text view. You can pause the video, fine. Then after that I'm using a very basic text view, sorry, recycler view. And after that you can see that we are using a very basic button, okay. And you can also write down the IDs and all the attributes very carefully, okay. And then our this constant layout is finished. So guys, now when user will click on this forward button, so we will show a bottom sheet, and when this bottom sheet will appear, so we have to fetch the list of users who we are following. Okay, so now before that, what you have to do is previously in the previous tutorial I have shown you the functionality of creating a list of following people, so we can only fetch their stories. Okay, so for that you have to open the show user and fragment tree. So in the show user part, you have to increase one more child, which is following member dot set user id other user id. Okay, and this other user id is basically the id of user who we are we can you can say whose profile we are watching. Okay, so here you can see that when you will click on a specific user in fragment 3, so we will come to this show user, and here you can see the other user id is the one we are taking through intent. Okay, and then you have to pass that id here in this other user id. Okay, and also in this ntref reference you have to pass current user id, sorry, other user id instead of current user id. Here you can see that previously we are passing current user id, which is not a good thing because it will send notification messages to wrong user. So you have to pass other user id, and here in the method follow you just have to increase this extra child, which is set user id. Fine. Also you have to do the same thing in this fragment 4, where when we will accept a specific user request, so we will create the child of following. So here you have to do the same thing, following member set user id current user id. Okay, so now we have created the bottom sheet. We have this post icon. Okay, so now I will show you the code of fetching users in fragment 4 inside this bottom sheet. Okay, so simply open this fragment 4, and but first of all you have to open the on start, where we are basically fetching the all the post. Okay, and in upcoming tutorial I will also show you that how can we only fetch the post of users we are following, not the post of all the users who exist on the app. Okay, so here you can see that we have the code for fetching the data. Simply open this on bind view holder, and this time guys, when user will click on the forward post bdn, so here you can see that we have this post. And one more thing for the reference of that, simply open post view holder. Here it is. So inside this post view holder you have to increase the image view. Here you can see that we have this forward post bdn. Okay, and then after that you have to give its reference like this: forward post btn image view find view by id forward post btn, its name is forward post btn. Okay, now after this reference you can use it inside this fragment 4 by writing holder dot forward post btn dot set on click listener, and inside this you can see that we have this show forward sheet. So when user will click on it, so we will show this forward sheet. Okay, now I will show you the code of show forward sheet. So here in this show forward sheet you can see that we are simply using the code of showing the bottom sheet file. Okay, from the bottom, and it will come to the upward direction, and when you will cancel it, so it will go back to the downward direction. Okay, so this was a very basic code for handling the bottom sheet. Okay, and then here we are giving the reference of three important childs that we are using: recycler view, text view, and button. Recycler view for fetching the following users. This is for showing the status of post that forwarding to Rajan Sharma forwarded to Rajan Sharma. Okay, then this is a send btn for simply closing the bottom sheet. Then after that you have to declare some variables for firebase database. Okay, very first of all database, then linear layout, then set reverse from true, so it will simply show you the latest followed user on the top, and then you have to simply write rvfb set layout linear layout. Fine. Then here we are fetching the current user id, and here you can see that we have the reference of following people. And then after that when user will click on this send btn, so we will simply dismiss the dialog. Okay, now here comes the important part. Very first of all we have to fetch the data, or you can say list of users who we are following. So the following fetching part is quite simple. If you have seen previous tutorials of this playlist or this project, then you guys will easily understand that how we fetch data from firebase. Okay, so we have to create a very simple object of firebase recycler options. Then we will simply initialize it passing some parameters like reference model class. Okay, and then after that we will use firebase recycler adapter, and we will pass parameters like member class, view class, in order to fetch data in a specific item. And then after that inside this on bind view holder we will bind the view. Okay, and simply we are fetching the basic details here. And also I will show you the code of profile view holder, so you guys will not be confused. So here it is. So inside this profile view holder you just have to create a very simple method. Here you can see that it is okay, the method is set profile fp forward post. Fp is a short form for forward post. Okay, and guys, one more thing I just want to say that I have changed Picasso. I mean now I'm using glide library instead of Picasso for fetching images. Okay, So you just have to create this method inside this class profile view holder, set profile view fp, pass only three parameters: name, user id, and url. Give its reference, and here you can simply show the data glide, item view, profile iv, and name tb. Okay, now here comes the another important part, that for fetching this data we need a layout file, and the layout file name is rc item fp. I will show you its code, rc item fp. And here you can see the very basic coding of it, that we are using a very basic linear layout, and then we are using a circular card view. Inside it we have an image view id is ivrc. So you can pause the video, write down the code, okay, and then code for this card view, and then inside this very basic image view, and then we are using again this very basic text view. So this was a complete code for this layout file, okay. And make sure this width should be match parent, height should be wrap, or I mean wrap content, fine. So now after that part of code, you just have to come back to this fragment 4 and write down this code, fetch these values that we will need. And now you can simply write down that holder dot profile iv set on click listener. So when user will click on that user image, okay, inside this forward bs, so what we will do, we will simply create a date format for saving the data, okay, for saving this date, fine. And then after that, inside this dv forwarded to, we will store the status of sending. Like for example, if you clicked on a user's profile, so it will take 1 or 2 seconds to send the data completely. So till during that 1 2 second, we will show the status that forwarding to receiver name. And then after that, you have to give the reference of recent chats as well, okay. So here you can see that I'm giving its reference, and then scene status reference, and then again also this message key is required. Then we will use this check message node, okay. So these rcs, rcr, scene status, these are database references of firebase, okay. This check message node is also, so you just have to declare a very global variable for all this, okay. I'll show you, here it is, you can see, okay. So this is how you have to declare the reference for all of it. And then come back to this yeah, forward post. So now after giving this reference part, you have to check the validation. Actually it is a code of message activity. I'm not doing anything very new or specific that you guys have not seen before. So you can see that this is a complete part of message activity, where we are checking that if user have already talked previously or not, okay. So that's what we are doing here. And then after that, you can see that we are simply doing a query for deleting the previous childs of recent chat and saving new child's data. So you can see its code, okay. I'm showing you the complete part of coding. Pause video, write down, okay, and then we will do again same thing, okay, same thing. And now finally we are storing the data inside this message member, okay. So first of all, you have to declare the niche model class, and then save all the values like time, message caption, and sender uid, set type post, delivered no, read no, rc. And reaction part, you just have to leave it like this, okay, because in upcoming tutorial we will implement that functionality. And for url, you just have to simply write set image url, and after 1.5 second we will store the value like this, okay. And also we will store the status that forwarded to receiver, okay. And then after that, we will send notifications. For notification part, you just have to write down this firebase database dot get instance. So very first of all, we will fetch this user token for sending the email, for sending the notification. And after that, we will use a handler of 1 second. So after that 1 second, we will simply send the notification. So for notification, we have two classes, fcm notification sender and notification sender dot send notification. So for the code of these classes, you just have to join the membership, okay. And you can see this part, send the post of name, fine. And after doing this part of code, now we will handle or store the data in recent chats, okay, item. So you just have to initialize the model class of rc model, okay, and then store all these values. Then after that, for this receiver side, you have to do the same thing, fine. And then after using a handler of 500 milliseconds, or you can say half a second, we will store the childs like this, fine. So this was a complete part of code that you have to do, right. And then after that, now you have to profile view holder and attach the layout file with this firebase, I mean recycler view adapter, okay. And after that, the main part comes here, that how we can show it in a 3 items in a row, that you have to, we can achieve it by using grid layout manager, grid layout manager, grid layout manager. And then we will pass a span count 3, grid layout vertical, reverse layout false, and then simply write down this. And in the end, you have to write down this part of code for simply handling the bottom sheet, okay. So now after implementing this part of code, now we have successfully sent the image to the specific user. Now the thing comes that how can we show it in message activity. So very first of all, you have to open the message layout, okay. And in this message layout, I'm going to show you that how it's done, okay. So this is a layout file for sender side, okay. And this is a layout file for receiver side. Okay, so we are using the same color. I'm not making any complex UI changes. I'm trying to keep things simple. So very first of all, you can see the code of this text view. I mean, we are using a very basic card view. The gravity and all the code is visible to you. Okay, pause the video, write down. And then I'm using another card view for circular image view. Here you can see. Okay, you can use the IDs, you can use these everything. Okay, and then I'm using a very basic text view for the name. You can see its attributes and code also. Okay, and then I'm using a image view, which you can see here. Okay, so after this complete part of code, this is for the sender side, and now for the receiver side. Okay, and you can see this code. Okay, almost everything is same. You just have to make sure this gravity. Okay, because this gravity is important part. In the receiver side we are not giving any gravity, and in this part we are giving a layout gravity to the right side. That's all I'm doing. Otherwise the rest of the code is quite same, or you can say absolute, I mean almost, no, it's just same. Okay, so now after that you can see that this is a card view, and I think you guys can create a very basic bottom sheet, or you can say layout file like this. It's not that complicated, and you can simply see the code on the screen, and if you want it, so you can simply join membership and get the codes. Okay, ranjansharma.com, and then after that you can see a very basic image view. Okay, so this was a layout file, that is a code of message layout. Okay, and by default we will make it gone. So by default we will make it gone. So now message layout part is complete. Now it's time to open the message view holder. So inside this message view holder, very first of all we will declare variables like IB FP receiver, profile IV sender, profile IV receiver, and name TV FPS, name TV FPR. Okay, S stands for sender, R stands for receiver. Fine. And this card view for CV FPS sender, CV FP receiver. Okay, now after that you have to simply give its reference. You can see on the screen, this was a complete part of reference. And then after that, here you can see that if the case is T, so what we will do, we will do this. Okay, just simply write down this complete part of code, and if the case is post, so we will do this. Okay, and you can see again the code on the screen. And now inside this check M, you don't have to do anything, and also in this check scene you don't have to do anything. Then you have to create a method which is public void get profile string UID. Simply create a reference or variable for firestore database, and then we will simply write down the code for fetching the value like user URL and name. Okay, and then after doing this get method, then after using this get method for fetching data, we will simply store the values like this. Okay, so you have to write down this part of code and then simply close it. Okay, and then again you have to create a method which is check FP. So inside this check FP you have to pass two parameters, user ID, sender user ID. If it is equal, it means that the sender is I mean the message is from sender side. If it is not if it is different, then the message is from receiver side. Okay, so you just have to create this method, and you can see the code on the screen. Okay, this was a complete part that you have to do in message view holder. Now it's time to open the message activity where we have to handle it. Okay, so inside this message activity, folding, collapse all, open the on start. Inside this okay, so here you can see that we have to simply write down this that if type equals to post, so holder check FP. Okay, and here you can see that we are getting the type. Okay, so you can simply fetch this part of code here. And one more thing, that here inside when the case is post, so you have to call this method which is get profile and pass sender USD as a parameter, which will work here. Okay, so now after I think I have shown you the complete part of code that you have to do. Very first of all, user will click on that you know so very first of all, user will click on the post layout. On this, then we will show this bottom sheet. Here we will fetch all the users. When user click on a specific user, so we will save that value, and after that we will fetch it in this message activity. So guys, now after implementing all this part of code, you can simply forward a post to a specific user. Fine guys. And so guys, after that you have to simply open the fragment one, because this is where we will make all the changes. Okay, and now you can see that with time my laptop is getting older. So now it's quite slow, but I hope that is not a problem to you guys, because you will get all the codes. Okay, so you just have to open this fragment one layout, because we also have to make changes in the XML part for making edit profile and changing the icon of. Okay, so just So guys, very first of all, you can see that here we have a very basic button. So you just have to make it edit profile, and here you have to change this icon, which you will get if you will join the membership of my channel. And after that guys, you just have to open the fragment one where we will make the minor changes. And the change number one is that here you have to make it image view. You can see image button edit, and also open this fragment one where you can see the code of this image view. Okay, and here we have this src chat icon that you will get when you will join the membership. And after that you have to give this variable here, and after that you have to give its reference. And then guys, you have to open this on click, and here you just have to change the code like this. Okay, so you can see when user will click on this icon, so we will take user to the recent chats, but with that we will also use this animation which is quite cool, rname enter, rname exit. And for its code you just have to create another files like enter.xml. You can see on the screen code and exit.xml. So guys, you can simply pause the video and write down all the codes that I'm showing you on the screen. And after typing this part of code, you just have to write this line, and it will simply give you a very smooth and nice transition from left to right direction. And when you will come back, so it will show left to right direction, so that's, sorry, right to left direction. Okay, and when user will click on send a message part, so you just have to write this line of code. Okay, so this is a complete change that you have to do in order to implement this complete functionality inside social media app. So thank you for watching. For source code, visit rajensharma.com, join membership and get access.